So the way the technology actually works is very simple. There's a sensor in that part right here. It's called a piezoelectric sensor. And a piezoelectric sensor actually measures for resistance or movement. So we actually measure tissue resistance in the spine to actually see and measure and determine which area or which vertebra doesn't move as well as the other ones. Okay. So if I actually do a scan right here, if I go like that, and I can see here on the screen, that I'll actually have graphs that actually come up. And I actually have a line right here as well. Now, if I actually do the graph on something harder, for example, on this right here, you can see the graph is much higher, or the line is much longer. If I do it on something soft, for example, if I do it on my belly right here, then the graph is lower. So basically, once we actually know which area or which vertebra doesn't actually move properly, then we can also use this to actually adjust the vertebra. Okay, so to select the vertebra, we just need to click on the areas here. For example, that would be C3 and that'd be C5, and we go and adjust. And then we have different strength that or power that we can actually use. We have 10, 15, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. So we would actually typically adjust the cervical spine or the neck at 15 pounds. So this is what would actually happen typically. Okay, so there's a percussion that actually happens, and when the vertebra moves properly, the machine will actually stop automatically. So that you can see here, that is connected and feed back directly to the computer. Now, in order to demonstrate how the treatment actually works, the first stage of the treatment is to have a scan of the spine. So we use that instrument here, and we go in the spine, and it's a very gentle scan, it's a gentle little tap, and it actually shows us a whole series of scans here. So by which we decide which scan to pick or which area to adjust. So same thing when we actually scan the mid-back. So we go one vertebra at a time and run it down like that, and we have a series of scan on which we actually pick which vertebra we actually decide to adjust. So we'll actually select the lumbars or you see those areas, and then we can click on adjust, and then would typically go in those areas. So when the adjustment is completed, the sensor feeds back to the computer, and then the adjustment just stops. So the typical changes that people actually see with their care ears is first they start to actually notice an improvement in the movement, so their range of motion. So they start to actually have less stiffness into their structure, like their neck or their back or any joint really, because mainly it breaks down scar tissue. Another thing that people will actually feel as well is they'll actually feel that they can actually hold straighter, and that's something very important because the nerves have less pressure. Then the nerve will fire better, they'll supply the energy to the muscles, and then the muscles will actually get stronger. There will be an increase of blood flow as well. So an increase of blood flow in the area, so either a muscle or a joint, will actually improve the oxygenation. So the oxygen is energy, and also increase the food actually being brought to the area, so the tissue can actually start to actually heal. Typically people will actually feel more energy, they'll start to sleep better, so that's something that we actually see on a regular basis. They'll start to feel a decrease of pain, they'll feel calmer, they'll feel better, and obviously with all that, their level of pain will actually go down, and their level of health will actually go up as well.